guys, Like Earthkeeper here, and I am recording this video to cover tapas. Tapas is the third niyama. So we will just dive in. Originating from verbs meaning to burn or to cook, this precept encourages you to develop a strong resolve and a burning enthusiasm both for your practice and for your life's work. Like the other precepts, tapas demands discipline, self-control, and persistence. So, tapas for your practice, persistence, getting on your mat every day, even if it's for just 15 minutes. Self-control, learning your triggers, learning what you need to work on, always striving to improve and letting your competition be your past self and no one else. Just, always trying to be the best you that you can be. And discipline, sometimes it has a negative connotation, but discipline is the highest form of self-love because we're doing the things that we need to do to set ourselves up for the best life that we could possibly have. Tap means to burn or to cook. Under this precept, you cook the raw ingredients of which you are composed to produce a beautiful dish. Tapas involves the self-control to live with good habits in all things, including work, food, drink, spirituality, thoughts, and wishes. Bring enthusiasm to all parts of your life and stay focused on your spiritual path. Living life with zeal and sincerity, the purifying flame is ignited. Tapas, revealing the inner light. Once again, excuse me, we visit tapas. Okay. The Bhagavad Gita speaks to us of tapas, kindling the purifying flame through refining the actions of our bodies, minds, and speech. Tapas of body is defined as service, physical purity, living in virtue, moderation, and reverence for all. Charging all your actions with zeal and sincerity, whether serving family, the greater community, or yourself, transforms them into spiritual practice. This concept applies to the formal practices as well. When practicing asana, posture, pranayama, guidance of universal energy, or any of the other practices, the main benefit comes from embracing the deep spiritual intention. Tapas of mind is distinguished as tranquil. Excuse me, my throat is dry from all the talking that I do. Okay, so tapas of mind is distinguished as tranquil, gentle, kind, quiet, willpower, and purity of thought. How we think and feel is a predictor of our physical health and vitality. Our relationships with the world around us are molded by the way we imagine them to be. By keeping our mind tranquil, gentle, and pure, we create a life worthy of spiritual reflection. Tapas of speech is experienced as truthful, pleasant, serene, beneficial, prayer, and japa, repetition of a mantra. Speech is a direct outward expression of the mind and emotions. If we are agitated or upset, our language mimics that point of view. Consciously choosing words that are pleasant and serene, we are able to influence the mind and emotions into calmness. Prayer and mantra are ways of extending the vistas of our speech to reach the place where all understanding resides. This clear threefold descriptions of tapas from the Bhagavad Gita allows us the liberty to experience varied ways of transforming energy. When the practices are not separate from, but incorporated into our lives, the unfolding of our hearts continues. The Bhagavad Gita assures us that it is not necessary to engage in rigorous practice. These steady and subtle ways slowly ignite the spark of divinity within our heart. While there are varied forms of sacrifice, one can make with zeal and sincerity simple acts of devotion, whether private or public, have powerful and lasting effects. Tapas is derived from the root tap, meaning to blaze, burn, shine, suffer pain, or consume by heat. It therefore means a burning effort under all circumstances to achieve a definite goal in life. It involves purification, self-discipline, and austerity. The whole science of character building may be regarded as a practice of tapas. Tapas is the conscious effort to achieve ultimate union with the divine and to burn up all desires which stand in the way of this goal. A worthy aim makes life illumined, pure, and divine. Without such an aim, action and prayer have no value. Life without tapas is like a heart without love. Without tapas, the mind cannot reach up to the Lord. Tapas is of 3 types. It may relate to the body, to speech, or to mind. Continence, brahmacharya, and nonviolence, ahimsa, are tapas of the body. Using words which do not offend, reciting the glory of God, speaking the truth without regard for the consequences to oneself, and not speaking ill of others are tapas of speech. Developing a mental attitude whereby one remains tranquil and balanced in joy and sorrow and retains self-control are tapas of the mind. It is tapas when one works without any selfish motive or hope of reward, and with an unshakable faith that not even a blade of grass can be moved without God's will. By tapas, the yogi develops strength in body, mind, and character. He or she gains courage and wisdom, integrity, straightforwardness, and simplicity. So it's a zeal, an enthusiasm towards your practice, towards your mission, towards your purpose. So think of 3 ways you already practice tapas. For the journal questions, the first one, think of 3 ways you already practice tapas. The second one, describe your efforts to discipline bodily desires. Describe your efforts to discipline bodily desires. Describe one challenging situation in which you were mindful of your speaking and another in which you were not, and then compare and contrast the outcomes. I'll repeat that. Describe one challenging situation in which you are mindful of your speaking, and then another challenging situation in which you were not mindful of your speaking. Compare and contrast the outcomes. And, just a reminder, you can always pause the video to journal the questions before moving on to the next one. Describe a few techniques you use to control your mind. A few techniques you use to control your mind. Describe a current situation in which you need to apply greater discipline to achieve a goal. Describe a current situation in which you need to apply greater discipline to achieve a goal. Recall an incident in which you were able to summon the tapas to endure hardship. What happened? Recall an incident in which you were able to summon the tapas to endure hardship. Maybe you had to pull from your inner fire, push through. The next one, looking back on your life, what goals did you pursue with the greatest fervor or tapas, and what were the results? Looking back on your life, what goals did you pursue with the greatest fervor or tapas, and what were the results? What calls to you with a burning desire in this moment, and explain why? What calls to you with a burning desire in this moment, and why? think of 3 ways you can deepen your experience of tapas. 3 ways you can deepen your experience of tapas. And that concludes the video for our 3rd niyama, tapas. Thank you guys so much. Keep up the good work.